Onision has come under fire recently for making a video called YouTube Fired Me, in which he talks about how, because of the ad boycott, he's making a lot less money on YouTube, and he might be forced to sell his house. So he's decided that he's going to open a Patreon account, and he's also going to push his merchandise in order to make extra money. Now, I have nothing against YouTubers opening a Patreon account, but Onision is asking for quite a lot of money on his Patreon. As you may know, you can set up several intermediary goals on Patreon, but it's only when he reaches his final goal of $15,000 a month on Patreon, which comes to $180,000 a year, does he say that he will be able to pay his expenses for his recording set, his house, his personal car, his medical expenses, and his business car. Keemstar made a video on Drama Alert calling him out, saying that Onision doesn't even have a mortgage and that he's trying to scam his fans by saying that he's not making that much money when, in fact, he is making at least $20,000 on YouTube still. Now, as it turns out, Onision does have a mortgage, and he didn't make this clear, but he actually owns two houses. One house he uses just to make videos, and the other house he lives in. He does not really have a mortgage on the house that he uses to make videos, but he does have a mortgage on the house that he lives in. So he made a response to Keemstar threatening to sue Keemstar, and here's a clip from that.
So as I'm aware, a lot of you guys are going to inform Keemstar that what he did was completely dishonest. With that knowledge, he is obligated to publicly retract what he said prior. Now, I don't think he's going to do that without a little bit of motivation. So these are the standards for suing someone for slander. Keemstar could claim that he was ignorant in his report and therefore innocent of slander. But if those videos continue to be on YouTube, despite you guys informing him that those statements were in fact false, and he, by keeping those videos on YouTube, is continuing to broadcast that false message, and he would be doing so knowingly. So to encourage him to do the right thing and remove his slanderous messages, and knowing how much a lot of you hate Keemstar, because this is absolutely not the first time he's done this to someone, please go to patreon.com and click Become a Patron. If we get to $20,000 a month, it will become my legal obligation to sue Keemstar. This is, of course, so long as he doesn't take down those videos and issue a public apology for spreading false information about me. So again, if we can get to $20,000 a month on Patreon, I will begin speaking with lawyers about suing him and then pursue him legally until the videos are taken down and he issues a public apology. And remember, I'm not just doing this on behalf of myself, I'm doing this on behalf of everyone who has been publicly attacked / slandered by Keemstar, a man who has no problem saying a bunch of horrible, false things about people as a result of his immorality and his blatant disregard for properly researching subjects before he begins throwing accusations around. Okay.
So as you can see from the preceding clip, Onision was not only asking his fans for $180,000 a year or $15,000 a month, but he now wants $20,000 a month from his fans so that he can pay for a lawsuit against Onision. Now, this really is going too far. Even though Onision says that he's going to give half of the lawsuit winnings to charity, if this was a really strong case, Onision could simply find a lawyer to take it on a contingency basis. When a lawyer gets paid on a contingency basis, that means that the lawyer gets paid by taking a percentage of the amount of money that you win. If Onision really did have a strong case against Keemstar, he would be able to find a lawyer to take this on a contingency basis, because a lot of times lawyers actually make more money when they take things on a contingency basis, although of course they are taking a risk. But it's ridiculous for Onision, who is already asking his fans for $180,000 a year, to then ask his fans to pay for his lawsuit and not even offer to pay back his fans if he wins. Onision says that he wants to sue for $1 million, give $500,000 to charity, and then he wants to pocket the other $500,000 for himself. Why can't he at least pay back the legal fees with the $500,000 that he's going to keep? I can guarantee you that although legal fees can be expensive, this lawsuit would not cost $500,000. Anyway, this lawsuit is not going to happen because Keemstar did take down the video that Onision wanted him to take down, and he did make an apology. And in his video where he apologized, Keemstar did not say that he made any mistakes, except that he said that it is true that Onision owns two houses, which Keemstar said he didn't know about, and that he has a mortgage on one of them, and that he has another one that's fully paid off. Keemstar did not back down, however, from the idea that Onision is scamming his fans, and Keemstar also claimed that he talked to his lawyer and said that Onision doesn't really have a very strong case, but he said that he'll take down the video anyway.
And now for the final story. Mr. Onision. Onision uploaded a video today titled, "Please help me sue Keemstar, #Dramaler." Now, for those of you that missed the video, a couple videos ago, we came out with a video basically saying that Onision is manipulating his fans. Onision made a video where he's talking about being suicidal unless he had YouTube, and now that he was making less money on YouTube, that he was going to have to sell t-shirts, because if he's not doing YouTube, he's dying. Those are his words. So we called him out on that on Dramaler. I also stated in the video that I spoke to a mutual friend of Onision's, and they told me that he owns his house. And since Onision was claiming that he couldn't afford his mortgage and that he might have to sell one of his cars, I called bullshit on that, based on the information that I had. However, we were wrong. Apparently, Onision owns 2 houses, so the information that I received where he owns his house was true. But the information that I reported that he doesn't have a mortgage turns out to be false. Onision has a mortgage. Now, Onision is claiming that if I don't take the video down and I don't apologize to him, that he's going to be suing me for slander. I've reached out to my attorney. They say that Onision has no case because suing for slander or defamation is very hard. If you're a public figure, it's nearly impossible. You need to prove that someone put out knowingly false information with the intention to, destroy your career or whatever. First of all, let me say this. I don't need Onision threatening to sue me to correct a story. We would have corrected this story regardless. Second of all, just because Onision doesn't really have a case on me doesn't mean that I should not do the right thing. And after thinking about this for a while, I do believe doing the right thing is to take down the video. So I've taken down the video, and I will apologize to Onision for putting information out that I got that wasn't 100% correct. Again, it's confusing when someone says you own your house, but then come to find out you own 2 houses, so one you own, but one you have a mortgage on. So Onision, I've apologized for my wrongdoing. Now, I'm going to ask you to apologize for what you have done that I believe is wrong. And that is manipulating your fans for money. Not acknowledging to your audience that you can still do YouTube if you live in a smaller house or you have a less expensive vehicle. Now, I understand, Onision, you probably won't apologize to your fans for this because you never apologize. You never admit that you're wrong when you're wrong. So that's just one more reason why I'm a better person than you'll ever be.
Keemstar is right when he says that Onision won't be homeless anytime soon, and he could very well just make videos in the house that he lives in. It's true that Onision does use his house to make videos, especially the house that he uses as a set, but he could also live in the house that he currently uses as a set and sell the house that he has a mortgage on, or he could sell the house that he uses as a set and use that money to pay off the mortgage that he's using for the house that he lives in, and then shoot his videos in the house that he lives in. I was born in Los Angeles, and I've lived in the Los Angeles area for most of my life, and there's a lot of filming done here. There is filming done in houses that are currently lived in. Right around where I live, there's constantly filming, and also my grandfather's house was used in a major Hollywood movie. It's sometimes a little bit inconvenient because you do have to move things around, but in Onision's case, he wouldn't even have an entire camera crew, and though he might have to move a few things around, I'm not so sure that it would be less convenient than having to drive to his studio house every day as he does now. So, frankly, it's fine if he wants to own a separate house just to make videos, but he doesn't need a separate house to make videos, and under no circumstances is he going to be homeless. So please keep in mind that if you plan on donating to Onision's Patreon, he doesn't really need that money. He's not going to be homeless. The other thing is, the YouTube boycott, I hope, will not go on forever, and Onision's income on YouTube could pick up again. And for some reason, I seriously doubt that he's going to stop asking for $180,000 a year on Patreon if the YouTube boycott ends. And like I said, I'm not against a YouTuber having a Patreon account, but I do think it is pretty excessive for Onision to be asking for $180,000 a year just from Patreon. And then on top of that, if this lawsuit were going to happen, he would want his fans to pay for it, and he wouldn't even pay back his fans if he won. And I also think that you should offer good rewards on Patreon if you're going to have a Patreon. And to be fair to Onision, I don't think that all of his rewards are bad. Some of them do seem to be pretty good. There is one reward that I take exception to, however. Onision wants you to give him $12 a month in order to have the right to send him mail or gifts at his P.O. box. Now, a lot of YouTubers have P.O. boxes for fans to send them mail and gifts, but it seems kind of ridiculous for Onision to be asking for money just to have the privilege to send him gifts. I've never heard of any other YouTubers doing that. Now, I do believe that initially this reward was $30 a month, so at least he's not charging as much, but still, I don't really think he should be charging anything for access to his P.O. box. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to my channel, and also hit the notification bell. I make 4 videos a month, and together we shall take over the world.